let's talk about Las Vegas. Specifically Las Vegas Grand Prix. Hi there and welcome back or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Amy and I have a somewhat unhealthy obsession with Formula One. On today's agenda, the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Sin City, where one can truly let loose and live fast. The place reeks of money, overspending, greed, lively party atmosphere. It's no wonder that the world's biggest motorsport would want an event here. It makes sense that F1 would want to tackle an event in Las Vegas, and that's exactly what's happening this weekend. However, there have been a few issues with this, and this is not F1's first soiree to the middle of the desert, now is it? In 1981, Formula One decided to make an appearance in the world's party capital in none other than the car park of Caesars Hotel. Yes, you heard me right, the car park of Caesars Hotel. Yeah, wild day, like never today. A race in a car park. The hotel obviously believed this would be great for business and attract so many spectators, but after 2 years, it was shut down. Now, this is hardly surprising considering the layout and the location of the track. A, it's in a car park, and B, my little cousin could draw a better layout than this. It's a squiggly mess of a track, okay? To their credit, they did originally want it along the Vegas Strip like this year's Grand Prix, which also has its issues. Back then, there was too much red tape to do that. Today, they're making it happen, and we'll get into that today as well. Anyway, back to the layout. Again, twisty mess, counterclockwise track that everybody, including the drivers, hated. It's like this weird little two kinks in a circle. So it wasn't great. Very cramped, very compact. The drivers overheated due to the fact that this was held in the desert during the day, like a Vegas race during the day. It makes no sense. So yeah, again, no wonder it was shut down after 2 years. No spectators turned up the second year. People showed up the first year because it was actually a title fight, but after that, no Vegas Grand Prix since. Until 2023. Now, let's get into this year's race. Obviously, I'm excited. It's Vegas. How could you not be at least a little bit excited? I understand one of the main criticisms is that it is so gimmicky, and even some of the pictures coming out now, like they have a little mini chapel at the racetrack, which I find hilarious. I find that so funny, and yes, they would get married there. And again, third race in America. Do we need another one? I get you're trying to build up the hype in this continent, but like, 3, is that really necessary? And Vegas is going to take the brunt of it. It is the newest to the calendar. We'll see how it fares compared to Miami, because Miami was hilarious. Every time Miami's on, I'm laughing LMAO. It is the funnest time of my life. So races in America do tend to be a good time. I get they are all pretty much more of the show than the sport, but yeah. Added bonus, new track. It's gonna add some spice to this year's championship, okay? Again, everybody's been complaining because it's gotten a little bit stale with Max Verstappen winning 17 races in a row. Highest win percentage of anyone over the course of the season, so that's kind of insane. But yeah, this track should at least throw a spanner in the work. No one's been there. They don't have any sort of historical data to go on. It kind of evens the playing field at least a little bit, so that should be exciting. However, a long ass straight, that Red Bull's DRS is going to be mighty fine. Now, this is F1. So of course there is some controversy around this weekend. We're going to start off with the layout and the track sort of controversy. So, the layout. It's actually, I don't know how good it'll be for racing. There are a couple of really hard braking zones after that massive straight that is the Las Vegas Strip. And they've done the course so it goes through some iconic landmarks. So, yay, positives. However, we'll see how the racing is. There are a few questionable corners in there. They might just slow down the cars a bit too much, but we'll see how it actually goes. And again, having a race run through the center of Vegas, very cool in theory. In practice, you're gonna interrupt a few people's lives, and it's fine if it's just for a week, 2 weeks even. Cool. They do it in Monaco, they do it in Singapore, anywhere that there's like a street track. They do it. But they have the experience to be able to actually go about setting this race up without impacting people's lives too much. Except for maybe Monaco, but if you live in Monaco, it kind of comes with the territory. Like, just expect it. You live there, you know. Like, Vegas, having to, like, shut down that strip. And they've been working on this for, like, months now. They've had to resurface the entire thing. They've been chopping down trees, which a lot of people have an issue with. That's one of the main talking points is they've cut down trees. Even the pedestrian bridges that go over the Vegas Strip, they've had to, like, block those off. They're, like, covering it in, like, sheets of plastic, little, like, cages around it, so that way they don't interrupt the racing, which, yeah, you're very much inconveniencing the people of Vegas here. And because you've had to shut down the central street in Vegas, traffic's increased, commuting's taking longer, all these, like, tourists who have come to experience Vegas can't even see half of it. So I get it from that point of view. It is highly frustrating. I would be pissed off if I went for a trip to Vegas and I could barely walk down the strip. Like, what you doing? On top of that, it's also for the residents. It's their tax money being used, and people are understandably pissed that they're not even going to be able to see the Grand Prix, most of them. So apparently a lot of people who live in Vegas are just leaving for the weekend, which I think is the opposite of what this is meant to do. It's supposed to, like, provide hype and support for Formula One in America, but it's not doing that right now. It's not doing that for me. And on top of this, it being such a new track, there are a few risks involved. Yeah, there are two major ones that I've seen pop up. The pedestrian bridges. Obviously, they've been compressed a little with the massive, like, cages that have gone around them. The reason those cages on there are not only so people just can't see the racetrack, which bloody ridiculous if you ask me, like, let people get a little glimpse, but at the same time I get it, because if you allow people a glimpse, then there's going to be a massive crowd around that one spot, right, and that could be very dangerous. Overcrowding is a thing, stampedes are a thing, which again makes these, like, really tight, narrow walkways, they're going to be packed anyway. I don't know if they're going to have, like, security guards there on actual race day to stop people from, like, crossing these bridges while the cars are on track, because that would make sense, because that could get very dangerous very quickly. And the second one that I've seen people talking about is an issue that you have, like, in a couple of street tracks, and that's the fact that the barriers aren't permanent. They're going to be taking down some of them during the day to allow traffic flow, which makes sense. Open it back up again when the racing isn't on, but they're going to have to make sure that those barriers are solid. But again, that I've seen people talk about, but it's not something I'm particularly concerned over. Like, F1 have safety standards. Like, they're not going to go and, like, put up weak-ass barriers that are going to do nothing to stop a really, really bad crash. So, and it's also something that we get at every street venue we go to. Like, those barriers aren't permanent. F1 has experience with this stuff. So that isn't too much of a concern in my brain. Another issue that we have with the Vegas Grand Prix is the start time. Now, as an Aussie, I'm bloody happy. 5 p.m. race day. Sunday, 5 p.m. I can be sitting there watching the race. I can't because I'm at work, but I could be there sitting and watching the race at 5 p.m. That's insane. That is immaculate timing for us. However, for Americans, who this race is meant to be put on for, it's just an awful time. Some of them have it at 1 a.m, which it's like my normal time for a race. But, like, if it was the Australian Grand Prix was on at 1 a.m, fuming, absolutely fuming. The actual track time, the race is at 10 p.m. Obviously, it has to be a night race. You can't do Vegas and not have it be a night race. Qualifying is going to end at 1 a.m. though. That's wild. Again, the city never sleeps. Vegas never sleeps, but that's a bit excessive. The sun is set well and truly by then, I'm sure, so we don't really need it to be that late. It is also Thursday, Friday, Saturday race weekend, like track time, to make it fit with the European schedule, so that way the bloody British don't have to be watching it on a Monday morning. This race is meant to be for Americans, and you're doing it to set, like, a European audience still, so I don't know, man. Seems like kind of a bit of an excuse to have 3 American races. And of course, with it being a night race, there are going to be a few other issues thrown in the way. The main one that I've seen pop up over the past day or two, the temperature. Now, I mentioned earlier how drivers were almost collapsing due to the heat at the last Las Vegas Grand Prix. We're doing it the other extreme. This is a desert, okay? Hot during the day, freezing cold at night, right? The track temperature is going to be about 10 degrees when the race is on. And that is something that at least modern Formula One cars have never experienced before. Never experienced before, not even in testing. Like, it's gotten cold, but it hasn't been that cold. And they're also in like race trim, not testing trim. And I don't think F1 thought this through. And they did it. Ross Brawn literally said, this is something we didn't even think about. We didn't think the temperature would be an issue because it's during the night, like it's not gonna be hot. Of course cars are sensitive to the heat, they're also sensitive to the cold. So there's that as well. So we'll see how the cars fare. Some people are being like, it might be another Indianapolis thing where like half the cars can't even compete because they just can't run in the temperature. I don't think it'll be that bad, but I still think it's going to be a major talking point and it's definitely going to affect so many cars and teams. So yeah, those are all the controversies and negatives going into this weekend. And obviously this, as I said, I'm still excited. I'm excited because it's a new challenge for the teams. I'm excited because it's a new track. I'm excited because it's a night race. Amy loves night races. Who do I think is going to do well? I think Williams. I'm expecting big things from you guys. A massive long straight. That's what you guys do, okay? I think Williams is going to do good. I still reckon Max is going to win. And that way it's going to be a lovely standard weekend. But there should be a bit of chaos. It's a street track. There's always chaos at street tracks. It's a bit chaotic. Max Verstappen win. Williams to do well. So we'll see. We'll see. I am very excited. Excited, but highly skeptical because Vegas has signed on for at least another 3 years, and if they don't perfect it this year, it could be another thing where it's actually costing the city money like it did the first time round and then just stop having it. Or it could be a major success and they learn from all the mistakes and next year they set it up brilliantly and everybody loves it. It can go one of two ways, so we'll see. Okay, that was my Las Vegas rant over and done with. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts and opinions as to what's going to happen this weekend. If you like the video, then like it and press the red button to subscribe for more F1 and motorsport related content. And I'll see you all in the next one. Laters.